here today. We are in a state of emergency, and we're concerned about the climate. Police are looking like more of the victims than the history of killing black men, black women, black children with impunity from the so-called justice system. So we wanted to come out here today to say we are watching how the media is flipping it to make it seem that police are in more danger than the black man that they're killing every day, disrespecting every day. We have a litany of cases from little Clifford Glover, decades ago, 10 years old, killed by police. The system lets them walk. Randolph Evans, killed by police, they walk. Eleanor Bumpers, killed by police, they walk. Nicholas Hayward, killed by police, they walk. Timothy Stansbury, killed by police, they walk. Alberta Spruwell, the list is endless. Anthony Bias, Rosario, and then recently, when we look at the killings across the nation. Then when Micah Xavier Johnson shoots 5 police officers in Dallas, Texas, he's killed. They sent in a robot and blew him up. He died. When the young man Gavin killed the police in Baton Rouge, he's dead. When the police were killed here in New York City, the man that shot them died on the spot. Then they try to deflect attention sometimes to our community crime and saying we need to be more reflective of that instead of police killings. That strategy to deflect attention away from community crimes, well, when we commit crimes in our community, we go to jail. When the police shoot down or choke Eric Gardner, they walk.
That's right.
So we're calling for an emergency to bring back the attention where it belongs, on the victims that are killed by police.
That's right.
And a system that lets them walk. We're concerned about our young black men today.
That's right.
Because the police are angry and they seem like they're more of the victims. For every police officer killed, there's at least 25, 30 of us killed. And people express their condolences, turning all of this to that attention. And now we have a case right here in New York City. Police officer off duty, killed in a so-called road rage incident. Killed Delron Small Dempsey and lied. He said that Delron got out of his car and Delron was pummeling him away with punches so badly that he had to go to the hospital. His face must have been swollen, he said, and all blown up, beaten badly. Well, we just saw the videotape. The videotape shows that Delron instantly got shot when he walked up to the car. He didn't even have time to cock his arm back to throw a punch. The Attorney General has that case.
Yes.
Well, we want that police officer to be arrested.
Right.
He should take the perp walk, just like what happens to us. If we do something like that, we get arrested right away. Then they start gathering information and evidence to try to get the indictment from the grand jury. Arrest him.
That's right.
Arrest him now. Finally, I noticed that the 2 young men, black young men, that killed police officers in Dallas and Baton Rouge, both of them were trained by America to kill abroad. Both of them were militarily trained to kill abroad. So it's all right for them to kill in your imperialistic wars. Then they come home only to see that their black men are being killed by the very people that they was over abroad supposedly protecting.
Right.
So we get killed by the people that we're paying to protect us. You train our young black men to go kill people in Iraq and Afghanistan, Vietnam, who never called us the N-word, who never did anything to us. You train them to kill them. They come back for justice, and you're still killing them as black men. This is what we wanted to highlight today, the contradictions around this. And the bottom line to say that we are having a state of emergency meeting in our community, police going around like they're the victims and victimize us even more. Right. They said that the police now have to come together and have two police officers even when they go to lunch. Well, what do you think we have to tell our babies before they leave the house? What do you think the black mother has to tell her black child, her black man-child, when she leaves the house? We have to turn them into punks. Say, when you get before the police, don't look at them. Don't move. Comply. Comply. Whatever they say. If they violate your human rights, so what? Get by the moment so that you can live another day. What kind of madness is that? That we have to go out, and you know what? Our brother in Minnesota, Castile, he complied.
That's right.
He complied.
That's right.
They said, show us your ID. He said, officer, I'm licensed to carry. He said, show us your ID. He went to show his ID to comply.
That's right.
And he's dead. Right in front of his lady who showed the world what happened. When we listened to the videotapes of Gavin, he said, we marched, we protest, and you're still not listening to us, so I'm going to do something else. America has created Gavin. American racism and injustice has created Micah. And now we are not going to sit here and allow police officers to make it appear as they're in more danger than we are every day. At least you have a gun to protect yourself. We have to walk around with you heavily armed and racist and be victims of your brutality. That's the emergency. We say to the president, we certainly appreciate your words, but for you to say we should watch our rhetoric as though some rally rhetoric is causing people to shoot police. Nothing at a rally is causing people to shoot police. No rhetoric of ours, no marches, no organization. Both of them said they acted alone. It is you murdering us and the system letting you go. They both said that they're sick and tired of black people being murdered by police and this injustice system letting them go. So the president should say we are going to guarantee justice from the Justice Department. If another one of you police officers kill another black person unjustifiably, you're going to serve the rest of your life in prison. Because I, President Obama, will see to it that the justice system will work. That's what needs to happen. And y'all can play games with all you want. You can have all of these fake leaders having these fake conversations in our communities with these fake police officers. These are meaningless meetings. These are meaningless dialogues. I don't care how much you're on CNN, MSNBC, on national television, and these great dialogues. It doesn't take dialogues. It takes a justice system working for black people. And when police kill us, yes, black lives matter. Black lives matter. And we are saying today, we ain't talking about all lives. We're not talking about blue lives. You don't even let us have a slogan. We can't even have a slogan without you saying all lives matter. Well, if all lives were treated like us, and if blue lives were treated like us, then you could join the slogan. You want to join our slogan, then you get murdered with impunity. You want to join our slogan, then you be in the poverty that we're in. You want to join our slogan, you have a history of slavery. You have a history of Jim Crowism, and then you can get down with our slogan. Until then, guess what? Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
City Councilwoman Inez Barron.
Thank you. Councilmember Inez Barron, representing the 42nd Councilmatic District in Brooklyn. I echo, reiterate, and ditto every single word that the speaker before me said. My husband, Assemblymember Charles Barron. He spoke eloquently and he spoke accurately about the situation and the conditions that we are facing, and how now it appears that those who have been recently murdered are victimized by us. That is not the case. We are now hearing about extreme condolences being offered. We as a people have been the recipients of those condolences for days, for weeks, for months, for years, for decades. We go back and we look at Rodney King, we go back and we look at Amadou Diallo, and we know that even though we have videotape which shows us being victimized, brutalized, and murdered, we do not get justice. So I'm not agreeing to those who say we need more dialogue. I'm not agreeing with those who say we need more training, or the dialogue in the world that doesn't get to the root of the problem, and all the training in the world that does not result in police officers who are convicted of killing, not getting justice for our people, is meaningless. So the dialogue, the training is meaningless until we see a system in this country that brings justice to our very accurate eyes, where we can see that we are put in chokeholds and killed, and that we are shot in the back and killed, and that we are shot unjustifiably and killed, until those officers with guns and with training are brought to justice and go to jail. We will continue to say we are not in a country that's living by its creed that says liberty and justice for all. We don't get liberty, we don't get justice. So until we can bring that condition to a change, we're going to continue to raise our voice and say, yes, Black Lives Matter, and we demand justice.
The Vice President International for the World African Diasporan Union, we are beginning to have some real dialogue with African nations on how to use their raw material with American corporations as regards their attitude about how American corporations back a police department that murders its own citizen. And so we're trying very hard. If you watch, I know the news over here won't carry it, but African youth are in the streets every day saying Black Lives Matter. Every day. And we want this to reflect in the African Union. We want it to reflect in the African governments. And we want to make it very clear. The judiciary system of this country, the police system of this country, and the politicians are responsible for those 8 dead cops. They're responsible. They created the condition that allowed for those young men who they trained. They wouldn't let us teach them African history. They wanted them in their military. They wouldn't let us teach them to love self. They trained them to be murderers. So the murderers came back home and says, wow, my people are being murdered while I'm murdering on behalf of the government of the United States. Now let me see what justice really means. What would George Washington do? He would kill the British over some tax dollars. What more will I do as a trained Marine over the dead body murdered unjustly in my community of people that look like me? And so let's be very clear. We understand exactly what's going on. You know, I remember the last time I was here, standing over there, Rudolph the criminal Giuliani was up there while policemen were walking around with hangman's noose in their hands, debasing and calling the Mayor Dave Dinkin a monkey. All right? That was our police department, police union, and our mayor-to-be. And we wonder why the attitude is what it is. How long can you kill black people without them striking back? And then everybody is saying on the news media, we have to find the motive. The motive is you murdered their family members. What more motive can you need? So Malcolm X, my leader, said chickens will come home to roost. Meaning if you train someone to go kill elsewhere, when they come looking for justice at home and don't find it, they will kill at home out of necessity for justice. And so that's what we're trying to say. Certainly Wadu will be taking our case. I will be meeting with members of different African political community on the continent of Africa on Sunday, and we will be discussing this issue. So we hope the press get it right.